Hey there, nerd muchers. I'm Zach Nanimus from the Warlock's Entertainment System.
I'm Johnny Dim from the same place.
And today we're going to be talking about the top 10 worst sci-fi curse words.
Right.
Let's get started!
Let's do it.
Just start!
Frack. So this one was made popular by Battlestar Galactica. And it's supposed to replace the word...
I'm not going to say it, you fracking ice hole.
You get the idea. Now this one, of course, it's kind of easy. That's why it's on the list. It's a little childish, and it kind of sounds like you're censoring yourself, and it's kind of just not that good.
It's just not something that I would see Starbucks saying. You know,
Right.
It's like the censor actually works there on the Battlestar Galactica. It's obvious. It's pointless. Next.
Go frack yourself.
Cursing in Chinese from Firefly. First, I want to say we know Chinese isn't a language. However, in Firefly, they use both Mandarin and Cantonese, so we're lumping it all together in one dialect.
They use them badly.
They use them, well, actually not every character does, and that's exactly why it's on this list. It's because all the white people on the show use it badly. We actually have a friend, Jing, and she actually speaks these languages, and she told us that it takes her way far out of the show because they do it so poorly. And not only that, you can kind of tell that they're uncomfortable with the language themselves.
Right.
You piece of lassa.
Is that a thing?
It means trash.
Oh.
And that is how I think of you. Ultimately, it just felt a little clumsy and forced.
Like everything on Fox.
Zetus Lepetus. In 1999, Disney thought it would be hysterical to get a young blonde girl to say the word penis over and over again. In their smash hit, Xenon Girl of the 21st Century.
Please comment on this video if you've ever heard of this before.
Okay, it's totally a thing.
It's not a thing.
Nevertheless, this was a thing, and the interesting thing about this is that while she often said it when she was displeased with something or when she got too excited, it's not actually very dirty. In fact, not at all. The two words are Zetus and Lepetus. Zetus is actually the name of a constellation, and it represents a monster from Greek mythology, which was like a big whale. And Lepetus is just one of Saturn's moons.
My penis is like a large whale.
I was going to say your penis is more like Saturn because it's got that mysterious ring on it.
Huh.
You knew it was going to be on this list. Patach. Pretty much the Star Wars curse word. Pretty much the penultimate Star Trek curse word. In the Klingon language, the word patach actually means lowly slave. Why it's on this list is that because it's used pretty often in the show and actually has a pretty big bite to it, it doesn't sound polite. Patach. It's actually not that offensive to say to a Klingon. I mean, everything has to do about, sort of being enslaved to houses and government and honor and duty. Honestly, it would be worse if you were to say something about somebody's chadich. You know, those classic, yo, chadich so fat jokes.
Ha!
Yo, chadich so fat, he can't even represent you in Mortal Kombat, son. Oh!
Hey, Zach.
Huh?
God damn it. Hey, Zach.
What?
Have you ever noticed the Klingon language sounds like their foreheads look?
You mean bumpy and slapped together that morning?
Yeah.
Smeghead. This is one that not all of you are going to be familiar with, but in the 1980s, the BBC had a show about travelers in space called Red Dwarf, and they loved to say the word smeg at one another. Now, why it's on this list is because it's not too terrible. Really, the word smeghead really just refers first to your cranium, and then to a kind of embarrassing biological substance.
Clean your dick. Shitting on Spock. This is one of those that isn't just one instance or just one word that people use. In Star Trek, it was kind of trendy to just shit on Spock.
Constantly.
It was really racist, actually.
They said he had the ears of a devil.
Yeah.
They called him a green-blooded hobgoblin.
Yeah. And he's a real trooper. He put up with a lot of shit.
Well, he couldn't be affected by it.
Oh no, it's not logical.
Also, he's incapable of feeling.
Yeah, that too. Nerd.
I guess the weird thing about this is that it's oddly racist for Star Trek. I mean, they never called Captain Picard a wine-swelling croissant.
Which he is. A croissant.
Because of the ring of hair he has.
Yeah.
I always called that the Picard ring. It's the best way I know to describe just having this bit of hair. Scrap metal. And it's getting a little late on the list, so you can tell that we're scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit. But this comes from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, the video game. And it's what Anakin, or what the voice actor who's pretending to be Hayden Christensen, calls the robots that he's destroying. And I wanted to bring it up because it sounds awful every time he says it, and it may be the worst thing about the game. And bear in mind, it's a Star Wars movie tie-in game.
It's a real winner.
More scrap metal, master!
Chicken. And I am not chicken to say this. That was really bad.
He's been so adamant about saying that in every take.
This one, of course, is from the time travel classic Back to the Future.
Pretty much used in 1, 2, and 3.
Well, yeah, it's Biff's thing. That's what he always calls Marty. And Marty, he's always trying to save face, and that really gets to him for some reason, because he's got to look good in front of his girlfriend or some shit.
Ultimately, it's probably one of the kinder things you can say to a person while still insulting them, and yet Marty has gone out of his way to do incredible stunts and hurt others and himself in order to prove that he's not a chicken.
It's true.
It's out of place, it's stupid, and it's stupid.
He's got a good point.
I took debate. I don't know if you knew that.
I do know that. Poodoo. Now, what does that sound like to you?
Poodoo?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's an obvious logical through line to Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z, so I'm assuming that Poodoo is some sort of grand wizard.
Wrong!
I shouldn't say grand wizard on the show.
It's actually another word for crap. Or poop.
And where does it come from, Johnny?
Poodoo is from Star Wars.
It's from the prequels.
It is from the prequels.
I think the most amazing thing about the word poodoo is that it sounds like it's from a real language. Like, you can definitely see how far removed it is from the English language. And thusly, you feel like you're on this alien world. You slibo. Oh, I should probably translate that. It's a little confusing. It means slime ball.
That's a leap. Non-heinous. This one is from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And the thing is, it's non-heinous. Heinous is a bad thing, but it's non-heinous, which would make it good?
Yes, but this was the 90s, when bad was good.
So it is good.
You know I'm bad, come on. I hope that explained it to you.
Sure.
Hey everybody, I hope you liked our list. If you did, don't forget to check out more videos from Nerd Much. Also, if you liked our smiling faces, you can check us out on warlocksentertainment.com. You can also find us on YouTube under Warlock's Entertainment System. Check out the War Pod every week for news, updates, reviews, and